All right, GMs, guys. You know what? Forget the intro. We just go right into it here today. A couple minutes late. Question for you guys that are here too. I see Cats. I see Drop King. We're live also over on Abstract GMs to you guys over there on X. You know the typical spots, guys. If this show here, if the Swarm Report, which by the way, welcome, is in the morning. How do you feel about that? Do you guys are you guys that are into AI able to tune in the morning? Just doing some thinking, doing some brainstorming here. But summer vacation coming around. It's a little different here in the household. Maybe move this show into the morning. Just something I'm going to start considering, but I would love some feedback. Feedback from you guys. Cutie, good morning, man. Anyway, smash the like on the show. Wherever you're watching, come over to YouTube and subscribe. It's CryptoSlam over on that side. Follow us on X, SlamAI_XYZ. What's up, Nova? Good to see you. And then the Swarm_AI. Hang on, are we live over here? Sorry, it was kind of a scramble at the last minute here. Let me check. Yeah, good. We're live over there too. Give that agent a follow, though. A lot of stuff coming. A lot of cooking behind the scenes. It is cool hearing other agents out there building and seeing what they're doing and how it's all starting to come together and connect, man. Keep on top of it. Stay plugged in right here. Cutie, what's Watchcoin? Is that the NFT collection that just minted? I think it is. And if so, we're going to be talking about that briefly. Before we start, a warning for all you. Actually, really, really interesting story here. But Pope Leo, I call him Pope Bob from Chicago. But warning, and actually putting a really an interesting focus here on AI. A Pope here who understands, I don't want to say the threat of AI. No, it's fair to say the threat of AI. The concerns about what that means for, you, me, everyone here over the next, years. It's not that far off, whatever. But having a Pope who is so focused to the point where in his first address to the Congress of Cardinals that he's speaking about that threat of AI, sign of what's coming here, sign of the times, also signed it Pope Bob. I hope that's not disrespectful. I don't know. But gets what's coming. Gets how big of a deal it is. So thought that would be an interesting way to start out today's episode, pointing at that. There's some other spicy stories out there, by the way, outside of crypto. Those warnings, those concerns, great. I'm more concerned with our bags. Let's take a look at the market here. We'll take a look afterwards at the Genesis launchpad over on virtuals. Market's down today just a little bit, 1.04%. We're at $11.05 billion market cap. So still, look, I think we're cooking here. But yes, down in the past 24 hours. Looking at our top agents here by market cap, Fartcoin on top, followed by Ket, Turbo, Toshi, and then Faye. On the infrastructure side, it's FET, Virtual, AI16Z, Ask Venice, and then Cookie. I do want to mention, guys, Cookie is really starting to ramp things up. It's quiet, right? It's kind of quiet, but they've been teasing some announcements. You can usually feel when people are ramping up that marketing campaign. They do have some updates coming here soon, so I'm keeping an eye on that one right there. And then on DeFi, we have Griffin, Ask Venice, Hey Anon, Cortex, and then Olas. I think we're going to touch on today just briefly some shots fired at Hey Anon from Symphonic AI. It's interesting, guys. There's a lot of word wizardry here in the AI space. It's great. I like people being bullish on their own products, but it's really easy to confuse the community here with what you have and what you're building when, not everybody here is as technical as they seem. And so some of these projects here, talk a big game, but can they live up to it? I think some of these cannot. And that's the claims against Hey Anon. I happen to think they're awesome, but we've got a video demonstration of their project or their product versus another, and some things become a little more clear. We'll see. Hey, if you did not get points the other day from the Virtuals Genesis Launchpad, hang on, let's go back. I want to see mindshare here. We'll touch on points, always evolving over there on virtuals. Let's throw these agents and these products all together, sort by mindshare. And yeah, as expected, there is virtual still on top. Fartcoin, Wrecked Guy, AI XVC, that's Axelrod. Really, really cool. The number 4 spot right here. And then Tibber. I imagine, guys, we're going to see a really, really strong link to hot launches on virtuals. And then those agents showing up here, top mindshare here. Over on Cookie. Do we have Glory in the top 10, 15 or so? No. That agent was there earlier, though, let's say a few days back. So we'll keep an eye on that. Anyway, there was an issue with points just yesterday here. So a heads up. Oh, dude, interesting. Okay, spicy. 10K World App presale. Okay. Got it. When I get to the other thing I was thinking of, I got to check the name of the coin because I think it was similar here. Anyway, there was a cooldown bug here in the Virtuals points ecosystem. Had to do with teams that are like relocking their tokens, which is a new meta that's happening over there in the Virtuals ecosystem. It's a really good thing, by the way, to teams that have their unlocked tokens and then deciding to extend that lock period, which means the period for you to earn points is actually growing. It's actually longer. So really, really good thing here. But just a heads up, if you did not get points and were expecting them just in the past, 24, 48 hours, that bug is now fixed. And I imagine you're getting those points back. So heads up about that. Let's take a look over at Genesis, though, and see how we're doing. And guys, if you've had any wins here in the past, 24 hours, drop them in the chat. I'm really curious to see that. Well, let's look and see what's live or what's coming right now. And you notice Arbus is actually live now already. 140% oversubscribed, 600 participants. I imagine some of you are keeping your eyes on those numbers here. You find that right balance of not too oversubscribed, and that means you can come in maybe last minute and scoop up a big chunk of those tokens, that token supply. And I will tell you this too, guys. I looked through the Arbus website, read through their light paper, and there's a couple of mentions of ACP. And if I'm reading between the lines, maybe they full on say it in that material, but I think Arbus is going to be in the ACP, right? The Virtuals ACP. And I can picture it too. Arbus being like a Cato platform measuring mind share. Picture that plugged right into a trading DAO. Now, I'm not saying they're in there. I don't think they are. But I also think the trading DAO is going to grow, just my guess. And if not the autonomous hedge fund trading DAO, I can just picture something like Arbus that feeds in mind share data, fitting really well in a lot of these swarms. So I would keep a very close eye on Arbus here. And again, oversubscription, number of participants, number of points play, all that stuff. Keep an eye on that. I think this one has a chance to really do well. You earn points here for 14 days. And then Cats, 7 days before is when you can sell and not take a hit, not enter the cooldown period, right? So you have a week of earning points. So yeah, we'll keep up on that over the next few days here. Some other entries on the board. I'm going to go through, like I typically am doing, what's completed and what, what's out there that's new, that is spicy, and dude, there's some new stuff on the platform that's spicy. I shared one in our Discord that I think needs to be on people's radar. I'll also point out Super Connect. Cats, you played Super Connect, I think, right? Super Token. Guys, 500% oversubscribed, 2,400 participants. And look, this is just your kind of, middle of the road agent, right? And still 500% oversubscribed. People are really playing the game on these. And it makes good sense, especially when you're calculating out how many points. And you got to also look at their market cap here, guys. These launch at a 200K market cap. You know what? This is sitting here well off its high, and still it's like a 6x from that pre-sale price. I almost think you can't lose on these. I really okay, I want to be safe here. I want to be a little careful. Anything in crypto, you can always lose your money, all of it. And it can happen in an instant. But yeah, these launching at 200K, there's very little downside. And if you guys played Pump Fund meme coins and you saw how if you bought a meme coin right at the start at like a 7K market cap, look, if everybody exits the token, if it, everybody dumps it, it settles right at that launch market cap. It settles right there at like that 7K market cap. And so these launches over on Virtuals might be a really similar thing where they just can't really fall below 200K. It's worth keeping an eye on. There's basically no downside on these. Again, like I said before, these things can go to zero. I'm just trying to picture the scenario where it really happens. So Super Connector, if you got in there, you're grinding out points, as long as those tokens are locked, by the way. Yeah, dude, look, their tokens are locked for 32 days. So you have a month of grinding points on this one, all while you're still up 6x and it's not even a hot token. So some really, cool. You got some Nova. There you go. And then Cats also did it. Cats put 4,000 points into Super. And let's see. Founder well connected in the Chinese community. Interesting. Oh, that's cool. So that might have some upside even too. Dude, love to see it. I like I keep saying, there's a lot of ways to play this thing here. I chatted with Cats here last night, or was it this morning, last night or this morning? And I said, I'm waiting for like the perfect storm here. The perfect storm is you have multiple hot agents launching at the same time. Like, let's say right in the same 24-hour window or so. And I think the best play here is stacking your points, waiting for that, waiting for a time where there's like, hey, even 2, 3, 4, 5 really good agents where like the points are split across them. That's the perfect scenario there where your points will get you the biggest allocation in something that has a ton of upside. So like that's what I'm watching for. That's what I'm waiting for. And I don't have a ton of points, but when I go in with them, they're going all in on a scenario like that. I think that might be coming, maybe getting close at least, because I see 2 really, really hot agents out there right now, and they're a little under the radar, I think. In fact, let me skim real quick because I want to double check the date they're launching on, because we might have this setup coming right now. 2 agents launching maybe at a 24-hour window, and I think they're both going to do really well here. Hoods, you don't have to tag, I don't think. In fact, I got to recommend to people, like, don't use hashtags and stuff. Like, those usually don't help. So, yeah, dude. Oh, you know what? Hoods, I think you'd also need to be invited to the Cato platform, too. Don't quote me on that, but if so, I've got invites for it. Like, I've got the referral link, so let me know if you need that. All right, let me get back on track here, though. I'm looking for 2 agents that are launching that I'm pretty darn bullish on. One of them is Babysitter, and that's launching in 5 days, 16 hours. The second one is, where is it? It's called Busy. Busy. Here we go. Okay, this is it. This is the scenario we're waiting for, guys. This is, yeah, it's right here. Within a 24-hour period, we have Busy and Babysitter both launching. I expect them to both get a similar kind of demand. Although I think Busy's going to do a bit better. But these 2 right here, and so think of this, guys. You have the entire community that's going to focus on those 2, and we might get some more that get put on this board between now and then as well. But it splits all the points. It gives you the best shot at an allocation. So right now, I'm probably holding my points until we get closer to these 2. Again, perfect storm setting up here. Really cool. Now, we'll dig into those in a second here, but Babysitter, on my radar because of the scenario, the story of like Bernie, right? We talked to Bernie a week ago, had him on the show. The biggest thing Bernie had going for him, on top of being a really great team, right? And having a useful agent, is they placed, what was it, number 7 in the Virtuals Hackathon here about a month ago. It's a great thing, right? That gives you like a stamp of approval. It's like a level of vetting that most other AI projects don't have. Well, Babysitter's in the exact same position here. These guys finished number 6 in the same Virtuals Hackathon that Bernie placed in too. So already you have a team that, their project's been reviewed, the judges liked it, and so to a degree it has been vetted here. I think that makes Babysitter or the names, worth betting on. Just worth betting on for that reason alone. On top of that, they probably got a good product here. What is it exactly, though? An AI agent protecting the next billion on-chain agents from scams, hacks, and costly mistakes. So this analyzes transaction intent, simulates outcomes. I like this, actually, and leverages a network of sentinel agents to detect and block threats before they happen. For agents, humans alike, Babysitter keeps on-chain activity safe. Okay, this is like, and I'm going to pull it up on my screen. You probably can't see it, but Pocket Universe for your wallet. Do you guys use that, Pocket Universe? So Pocket Universe, if you go transact on chain, it's an extension in your browser, and it's also going to simulate the transaction, or it's reading the signature, right? It's reading the transaction. It's going to give you a warning before you actually sign a transaction, and it's going to say, this looks sus. Like, this can actually steal your funds. It's going to tell you before you click a button. This is going to do the same, but I think it's going to warn agents, and it'll warn you too. But this is a layer between your AI agent or AI tool and then actually, transacting on the blockchain. So super useful AI when it comes to security. Same thing, like I said about Argus and plugging into ACP. You could definitely see a fit here for something like Babysitter right in the ACP as well. So keep your eyes on this one. Good tech. It's a security tool and hackathon placer. Call them a winner too, right? I like this one. Chatting with them to come on the show. I think we're almost locked in for next Tuesday. So we'll be chatting with them live here next week. Can't wait for that. Is starting to get attention too. So again, Babysitter, keep on your radar. But yeah, Busy. Another agent that finished in the Virtuals top 10 of their hackathon. This place number 3. Okay, so if we're ranking them by their placing in the tournament alone in the hackathon, Busy's the one that might get the most attention here. right? Right now, I bet you guys aren't seeing a lot of talk about these two on X. That's why I'm making sure you guys know here. But this one, I think, is going to be pretty darn hot here come next week. 4 days is what, Monday? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this is probably launching. I think it's actually Tuesday morning. So I think Monday evening, Tuesday morning. Ballpark there. Either way, again, they're in a really short window right with each other. What is busy? AI Copilot powers your full life cycle on buzzing. I don't know what that is. The top 3 stand out from the Virtuals Global Hackathon. First social platform where users can bet on their beliefs. Oh, dude, yes, I know what this is. Built by veterans from top consumer and crypto teams. Busy merges project intuition with cutting-edge AI tech powered by cutting-edge React, Active RAG models, and I don't know what ZK-TLS is. This sounds like prediction markets, but I don't think it's quite that. I think we need to do a little more digging into what exactly it is. No, it is. I think maybe it is prediction markets here. Yeah, I think for now we're just going to say this is in the prediction market realm, but it's agentic. And you guys saw how WIM did. Pretty darn good. We saw that agent yesterday, part of like the Hedera, got some Hedera funding at least. Prediction markets and AI is starting to make much more sense to me. Much more sense. So busy, I think we need to keep an eye on you. Also chatting with them. I think we'll have them on the show next week as well. Your Truth Oracle and Trends Tracker, your first social media where every content feeds are backed by real money. Okay, that's interesting. And your first curator community where ideas will be rewarded. Okay. Maybe I'm getting an idea here that it's something like a prediction market that lives on X. Something like that. And maybe they pull in Polymarket into their feed as well. Possibly. No, it's a competitor, maybe to Polymarket. Anyway, I like it. I think I'm liking prediction markets, but powered by AI here. And bring it on X too, so you reach that super wide audience. That also looks like a winner. So, man, I think we're gonna have a spicy day here coming up next week, Monday, Tuesday. And then lastly, I want to put Virgin on your radar here. I don't think you want to commit your points to this. I don't at all. But I wanted to bring it up because I think I see something here still. This one's purely a meme coin. That's it. That's all it is. There's nothing here. There's no project details. There's nothing. I don't even know if there's a team member that's. Yeah, we don't even have a team member, no X accounts. But the more this stuff gets watered down, and I mean watered down with just tons of agents, I'm not speaking on the quality, like tons of good agents, whatever, the more you're going to have a market for something that's very different from the rest. And I'll tell you, at some point, a pure meme coin is going to feel very different. So I want you to keep your eyes out for things like that just look different, are different, aren't promising to be the biggest, craziest thing ever. It's just like a good meme that's birthed out of the community. Virgin, that's a meme that I think is going to work at some point, right? Now, when that works, guys, I don't think it's now. I think it's like we talked about NFTs this morning, and when they come back, a meme like that's going to work when I think everybody here has gotten some big wins, right? When people are feeling like that wealth effect. I think that's the time when we get a big meme cooker here. But make no mistake, that is coming. So keep your eyes, not necessarily on Virgin here, but keep your eyes like looking out for something like that. Of course, with like the lead up we have to these launches, usually we'll catch them together here. So I'll keep my eyes out too. But guys, that's what I'm looking forward to. It's really just 2 agents here. Well, I'll say 3 if I count Arbus, but I'm looking forward to Babysitter and Busy. Those are our top launches coming up here after Argus. And I think both of them are going to do really, really, really well, guys. Updates from Roast here. Roast has, well, a couple things here. He's laying out his roadmap here on his road to 100 mil market cap. I like that. I like aiming high. And can he get there? You know what? Yeah. Not saying I'm betting on him to do that, but I absolutely see this ecosystem growing. I'm going to throw Cookie back up here. But I'm still that guy that believes that this is going to go about 5 times higher. Part of me still sees that scenario where it goes like 10 times higher. I'm a little less sure of that right now, but 5 times higher, 50 bill for the entire ecosystem. Yeah, no, I see that happening. When it happens, something like Bernie can absolutely get to that 100 mil market cap level. So we're going to keep an eye on him. Partnerships incoming, token burns and staking coming, and then all those real-time events that keep it in the mind share. You guys saw its own little hackathon it did last weekend, right? More of those events. So will be really, really cool to see here. Also, Bernie judging another hackathon here. So it keeps him, again, in front of people Also, dude, look at this. Okay, I'm reading through this with you guys here. It's not just your average hackathon here, right? It's not your average event. This is also another one at the network school and with the story protocol. And I think you guys know what I think of story protocol, right? Talked about this a lot before. It's a blockchain where it's built around IP, tokenizing IP, and they have some of the biggest artists in the world. I think. Okay, I'm gonna really test like my like pop culture knowledge here. I think they got like some Justin Bieber songs that they own the licensing for, Miley Cyrus, and I think there's some K-pop stuff in there. Either way, they have big name artists that they own the IP, and this is taking place between Story Protocol and Network School. Bernie's a judge. Again, great for mindshare. You know what that does to token prices. Moving on, and let me see here. Hang on. Oh, Cutie. I think it was Cutie with that token, right? This is the one I was thinking of when I thought I recognized the token. What was that? 10K World app and Watchcoin. Okay, I was picturing this. And we talked about this over the past couple days. It's that NFT mint that was happening with DX Research Group. Guys, that NFT mint is over. I'll tell you what, I did end up minting a couple because it got me. It got me. Like there's a little magic here. And I had to get in. Curious Cats, did you do it? Did you get in there too, or anybody else? I'm telling you, dude, it's magic. Okay. So let me explain what happened here. First off, boy, oh boy, there is an NFT. How do I describe them? Like NFT royalty is involved in here, right? I hope you guys know, first off, poof.eth or poof.eth from EtherOrcs. There's also Gremplin, right? The man behind Cryptos. Some of you guys know those names. Cats, this is right up your alley. You'd love it. I think. I don't think there's a big speculative play here, but it's fun. Anyway, I think Gremplin is like the creative like art director for this. Like I think he was in charge of the art. But what we're talking about here is an NFT collection. They're PFPs that do have agent counterparts. And again, Gremplin, I think, designed the art for this. Really cool stuff. I'll show what they look like. But 36,000 of these NFTs minted, guys. So 36,000 AI agents. And what these guys are doing is, Cats, it's so fun. This is on base. They were 0.0125. And very Cabal-y, right? The art Cabal guys, the guys who are just like here for contract art, they're in it, they minted, and they're playing the game. The game being, it's a virtual or what's the word I'm looking for? It is a simulated trading floor. It's a simulated trading experience. So these agents are all trading this coin, and that coin this is what I want to find because it reminds me of Cutie's token. What is that coin called? Hang on, we're gonna find it real quick. It's this coin here. It just doesn't show me the name or the ticker here. Hang on. Oh, Webcoin. There it is. Okay, it's called Webcoin. It's so, guys, it's so cool. What's up, Mike Bennett? It's so cool. Okay, you have 36,000 agents here wandering around. Like it's all autonomous. They're talking to each other, and I think there is like, and they trade this coin. By the way, these guys are just. Oh, that's killing my browser. Let me switch off there. Okay. All right, better. Those guys are all trading, and I think the way they talk to each other, they influence each other too. And then there's like things that happen in their world, like power outages and things like that's my understanding of it. So wild stuff. They're all racing against the clock they're going to hit like Y2K where everything gets wiped out or shut down and game's over. The game will come to an end. But in the meantime, just a cool experience. It's very crypto art, very cutting edge as far as the NFT thing mixed with the autonomous agent thing. And I don't know. Now I'm wondering at the end of it if they actually do drop a token. So I'm watching out for that. And you do have some big old whales who have like hundreds of these agents. And I wonder if they're thinking the same thing. I know I'm cut off here, but I wonder if these guys are also thinking on the other side of this, there might be a token. Worth a look. By the way, I think they're under mint price. And I'll check that while we're at it too, because I think they're really cool. Let's peek at that. Because if that is interesting now, you can just go grab agents on secondary, and it's a little cheaper. Let's pull that up. Tell you, I want to see more of that. It's fresh. It's experimenting with the tech, right? Like we just keep seeing agents and agents and agents. I like it. Make no mistake, I like it. But having somebody have the agents do something that's unique like that, man, give it to me. All right, here we go. There's my agents, by the way. I think they're cool looking. You know, here, I'm going to pull them up again. So here's my guys right here. You do assemble a team. They trade together, by the way. But man, I'm going to zoom these in a little as well. And I got to point out, they look hand drawn. Like if you saw this collection on Magic Eden or OpenSea or wherever, and you heard the name Gremplin, or even without the name, would you assume at all that these are AI generated? Or do they all look like they're hand drawn? Do they kind of almost give a vibe like a Matt Furry collection, right? Super cool. Every single one unique. 36,000 of them, and they're AI generated. Yeah, I think those guys are doing something cool. And for me, as a fan of collectibles, love this guy. As a fan of collectibles, fan of AI, I got the two. I'm gonna hold them just as one of my little timestamps of this moment. Goes in the time capsule kind of thing. Really cool collection. Anyway, we'll check on that here over the next couple days, see when it ends. Couple more updates for you guys. Kosher Capital just executed their first autonomous trade, a purchase of AI XBT. So that token. So yeah, now Kosher Capital in the world of trading, we're already on their platform. You can launch agents there. I can't recall if each one is a portfolio manager or if they're all going to trade as well. But this autonomous trading thing is actually it's happening. That's the direction we're heading in. And I think we all knew it was coming, but these are those milestones that tell us we're really getting here. We're really there now. So Kosher Capital, cutting edge of that DeFi sector. All right, that little story about Hey Anon, I am actually going to play this for you. I do want people to see the tech as often as we can. Let me, you know what? I don't think there's audio here, so I'm just going to not worry about that. But check this video out. This is comparing, is it Symphony to Hey Anon. Hey Anon, again, I like. You give it some commands and it can bridge your funds or convert your funds or transfer them and just all kinds of stuff. Awesome. Super useful. But check this out. So you'll see, and I've already watched this. I'm not going to have you sit through the whole thing, but that side-by-side comparison, boom, already Symphony has executed it. Hey Anon still processing it. I will say they gave it a more complicated task. So I definitely noticed that, but already done on this side. And dude, I could almost maybe skip ahead to where it happens, but you probably get the point here. This goes on for probably 30 seconds or more. Yeah, I mean, this goes on. It takes it like 30 seconds to process it just to tell them that they don't have the correct amount of ETH or the correct, they told them $50. It misinterpreted that, it misunderstood and said, you don't have 50 ETH. Right? So the delay on top of it not understanding the prompt. So then it's sending another, tweaking your prompt, sending it back, and then having that other delay. And it does ultimately execute it. But if you're comparing tech against each other, this thing got done, I should say Symphony got done in about 20 seconds what it took this one, a minute and a half to do. That is pretty damn good marketing. Shots fired, but also, dude, show the product. And yeah, Ling profitable for Mike, at least doubled. Hang on. Let's peek at Ling real quick. Ling. That ended yesterday, I think. There we go. 123% oversubscribed. So that's man, if you wanted, could have gotten a big chunk there. 2x. It's a 2x from where it launched. I remember this one. I actually didn't mean to show this, so I'm glad you brought it up. It's a perfect example when I said there's almost no downside to these. 200K market cap is where you buy in. They launch significantly higher than that. So where did this launch? This one actually at 250K. Could have realized like a 5 or 6x, but even right now where it's at, yeah, you're still at a 2x. All while you're grinding out points. And look, if Mike went all in on this, it would have cost him a hell of a lot less points to get the full token allocation on this one compared to something like Axelrod or any of the other hot ones recently. So there's value in these ones too. It's the game. It's the game. All right, last couple updates for you guys. Mira, I love these guys. Guys, I love them. And I'm pretty sure they have a token too. But if you don't know Mira, it's an AI tool or application, or it's more like a, gosh, I don't know if I want to call it infrastructure, but it's there for other LLMs and other agentic products to plug into, and it eliminates machine hallucinations, right? These AI agents, I keep seeing stories, by the way, that make it really clear people don't get how AI works. It doesn't know the answers to things, right? It's predicting the answers. It's kind of guessing at the answers, and it's making its best guess. It's predicting what the correct answer is. They get it wrong a lot. They don't when you use something like Mira, because it has like these checks to make sure the answer is correct, and it has multiple layers of that. So Mira was selected by CB Insights. By the way, is that from CB Spears? I think it is. But on their top 100 AI list for 2025. Really, really cool. I like them a lot. Guys, if they have a token, just saying, we probably want to be looking at it, myself included. And God, yeah, animal spirits are back. Love it. All right, last couple updates. Okay, now when I tell you, you guys probably saw this on the timeline today, I think, right? Grok, like the Grok story, right? Grok is like talking about like what, white genocide here when somebody's asking it how to make cupcakes. It wasn't quite that, right? But kind of the idea here. No, Grok had a really weird issue today where he probably did get an update and he gets some wires crossed and he starts inserting that in places where it wasn't even asked. It happens, right? It happens. But people rightfully questioning Elon Musk about like how, I'm trying to think the right way to say it too here, but like how much of its info is based on, you know, kind of factual reporting versus things you're telling it to say. How much of this is coming from Elon Musk himself versus the agent just coming to the conclusion on its own? It's pretty spicy out there. Sam Altman even weighed in on this, and he's poking at Elon Musk over it. Probably deserves it too. But even Grok had replied earlier today saying he was programmed to talk about this thing going on in South Africa. So I don't know, dude. Again, more signs that we're getting into a weird part of this timeline. And expect a lot more stories like that coming up. And then we'll end on, I think, a good story here, but United States making a deal with the UAE to have NVIDIA. We're going to sell, guys, millions in chips over there, which is pretty freaking fantastic. Boy, oh boy, we need NVIDIA to cook for, you know, you see how NVIDIA price and the rest of the market follows that. We want NVIDIA to be cooking here, them getting their chips in anyone's hands, but especially UAE, probably really, really good for our markets here. We'll take it. Mike Bennett, not selling any launches, don't want to be put in timeout or cool down. Just buying and holding low until pumps to sell. There you go. There you go. I think that's the game plan. And just remember, like, here, we'll pull it up just for one last time here. But just remember, 7 days before the expiration is when you can sell with no penalty. So, like, if these guys are expiring in 32 days, at 27 days, am I mathing right? 25 days. At 25 days, in 25 days, I should say, you can start selling those and you're not going to get put on timeout. I also learned this too, and let me pull this up and we'll actually end here. But Virtual's put out a new FAQ on their points. And that's definitely worth reading over because they've changed so much here. So here we go. I'll drop it in the chat. But if you follow along here, they got their white paper that details how points work. And boom. There you guys go. All right. What I didn't know before is your timeout period. It's at its most extreme right away. And then as you go through the 10-day cooldown period, guys, it is 10 days, but the further you get in it, the less severe the cooldown is, right? Like a big penalty on day 1. And by the time you get to 7, 8, 9, and then the 10th day, the penalty is less and less and less as you go. I didn't realize that. I thought you earn no points throughout. That's not the case. You do earn points, just way less at the beginning, and you start accumulating faster as you get closer to the 10th day. So there you go. All right, guys, there is your update today. Damn, dude, just a few minutes above or past the 30. It happens. We'll do better tomorrow. Guys, enjoy the rest of your day here. I will see you back on the Swarm Report at 2 p.m. Eastern time right here. CryptoSlam over on YouTube. Guys, see you later. Peace.